Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be looking at some statistics on zodiac signs, but also what I would consider the core or the definition of what the signs actually are, which, as I went over in my last video about the four living creatures, it's basically a combination of one element and one modality. Today specifically I'll be going over the most highly rated rappers out there. So this is one of my favorite studies for several reasons. One, it was the first one I ever looked into, and it was a self-study as well. So I had to gather the data and kind of put it all together. In my early days of looking at the Zodiac, I was trying to think of ways that I could look for statistical significance of certain Zodiac signs standing out to kind of help prove the theory. So I had to find something where I could have access to people's date of birth, which narrowed it down to primarily just celebrities. Then also, to increase the chances of success, I preferably wanted to find a category that seemed like a natural fit for a specific sign or a few signs based on what I knew of the signs, sort of like a hypothesis, so to speak, where I'd be not as likely to be wasting my time. And thirdly, it helps if I'm able to find some sort of way to rank these individuals based on performance. Second reason was because my hypothesis turned out to be true, but also with a high degree of statistical significance, to the point where it kind of blows it out of the water and makes it hard to argue against. And I am trying out a different recording setup here, so hopefully this video is not too bad, but we'll see how the finished product turns out. Also, as a side note here, if you remember from past videos, so the zodiac signs are basically part of the pre-programming of how your mind is kind of programmed to think or behave. So when looking at statistics, there's kind of two schools of thought here concerning the zodiac signs where we may find some significance. One, there may be some statistical significance for zodiac signs within certain categories or behaviors within the general population, right? So an example of this would be suicide ideation in Pisces, which I may cover in a later video. So these types of studies are typically harder to do, though, as you have to introduce more controls. There's often more variability based on other factors. And then you also have to know the participant's date of birth, which often is not recorded for a lot of studies like that you can use the data for. The second way is to look for statistical significance based on performance or extremes, with the idea being here that if a certain sign or element or modality is naturally a better fit for a certain task, then as you kind of raise the bar of excellence, you should notice a pattern emerge as the signs that are naturally a better fit should stand out more. So this second approach is what I'm going to be going for with this study. All right, so before we get into the statistics, I first want to give you the opportunity to form your own hypothesis on this subject. So we're going to be looking primarily at the data in terms of the elements. And so here's the elements I'm going to show on the screen here, and a general description of what's commonly associated with these elements. So right now I'd like you to just kind of pause the video to just take a few minutes to guess what you think would be a better fit for a rapper based on the generic descriptions here. And also, what element do you think would be a bad fit for a more successful rapper, not necessarily whatever the kid is, it doesn't necessarily contribute to being a good rapper. All right, go ahead and pause the video and take a minute to just take a guess. All right, so if this is your first introduction to this kind of stuff, that zodiac signs, it may not seem immediately obvious, so when I was first going through this stuff, I noticed that many of the Libras and Geminis that I knew were very talkative and very good at carrying on a conversation. A few are also very good at creative writing. My younger sister, a Libra, was very good at that. I also had a Libra friend from in high school that he wrote a very good poem out of nowhere and for an assignment, and I didn't really see that in him originally, but I mean he really did a good job. And so since rapping very much involved multiplying words in a creative way, here I hypothesized that Libra and Gemini should naturally produce a good rapper, just based on what I knew of the signs and what I had seen in my friends and stuff at the time. And later on, when I learned about the elements, I realized that these were both air signs. So I figured that, hey, I should include Aquarius as well to be consistent with the hypothesis of what the zodiac signs actually are, which is element plus modality. I may have seen, looking back, I may have seen more with Aquarius too, but at the time I didn't really have very many Aquarius friends. Okay. So now we're going to kind of go over this generic setup of the experiment here. So what I did was I went and got the Billboard's list of top 50 rappers ranked. I got Forbes' list of top 50 rappers ranked. Then I also got Grok for the top 250 rappers ranked. Sorry, which Grok said that it's pulled from a top 500 rappers page, off from Hub Pages article, as well as crowdsourced perspectives, such as those on Ranker.com. Grok also did most of the heavy lifting for finding birthdays and getting an estimate for how many millions of albums each rapper sold, how many singles they had that hit the Hot 100 chart, how many #1 singles they had, and how many albums they made total for reference, more so. So the rankings are largely subjective, but what I did to kind of help balance this out was I made a new ranking system based on those three rankings, the best rank over here. What I did was I basically just, whatever rank between those three charts the rapper got that was best, I just gave them that rank and used it that way. So some artists may have, oops, right here. So some artists may have, some ranks may be occupied by multiple artists, so you can kind of see that there. So it's not really a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, I will be the first to say that I don't completely trust a lot of these numbers that Grok came up with. Most of the birthdays are accurate. The sales numbers are debatable. There should be close. The hope is that they're at least close. But this is, the starting place that I have to work with for put numbers to these. Many of these were right though, and many were misrepresented as well. So I did fact check a few, and some are accurate, some not. So we'll just take that in mind. I'm going to try to post the data on the description in the video below later. Alrighty. Also, as far as grouping these into zodiac signs, I kind of did this a little differently. Instead of grouping them into the 12 normal signs, I broke it out into 24 categories and split out 2 days for the transition days between signs. The reason for that is that people born on transition days can be either sign, as we don't quite understand the cutoff mechanism for this. So to help remove this uncertainty from the study, as well as any other study that I'm going to do in the future, I decided to just kind of break these cut states out in their own category to be have a more robust and kind of eliminate some of the uncertainty with these statistics. Alrighty. So here's the report in Power BI I made. Let's first go over what we're looking at here. So left column, we got the number of rappers that fall within a specific element, sign, whatever. The second column is going to be the sales here. Third column, Hot 100 singles. Fourth column, #1 singles. Fifth column, albums released. And then this line here is kind of like the null hypothesis, or the baseline probability, just based on, you know, how many days out of the year are there for each sign, or category, for air, earth, fire, water, etc. And so what we can kind of do here is that if we can compare these middle three columns to the first column and the last column, if these three columns are higher than this column, that means that a particular sign or element or group is overperforming on a per wrapper basis, or overperforming on a per album basis. And then if you know more albums, so it's like more of a specific element tends to make more albums or release more albums, whatever, that kind of thing. So the first thing to note here, and how I want to kind of keep in mind as we go through this video, so first we can see right off the bat, the air is highest at 27.5%. That would be, you know, it's true to the hypothesis, that is the most. But also, Earth is lower than what we would expect. And these air bars is their confidence level. Here I got set to 95% confidence level, which would be the standard margin of error. So anything, you know, if this error bar does not hit this overlap with this baseline probability, then it's statistically significant outside of the margin of error. And so we can see here, Earth is actually statistically significant right now at the 250 rank here, below the margin of error. Sorry, below it's outside the margin of error. Earth is high, or sorry, air is higher, including the margin of error, but it's, you know, it's not quite outside the margin of error yet. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to walk down the best rank. We're going to go top 250 rank and just kind of walk it down. And we're going to see what happens as we raise our bar. What starts to stand out? What starts to go down? Etc. So there's 250. Let's go down to 200. We're going to pay attention to earth and air. All right. So the top going on 200. What we see now is that air is now statistically significant. It's right at that mark where it's significant. Earth is about the same. All right, and air went up to about 30% now, 29.786. All right, let's walk it down to 150. Okay, gap closed a little bit. You know, air's still about 30%, but the margin of error increased, so it's, you know, that's what it is. Earth is sitting at about 17%, 18%. All right, let's walk it down to 100. Yeah, and Earth went up now. Oh, sorry, air went up 30 to 31%. Earth went down about 18 to about 15%. Oh, let's go 80. Walk it. Top 80. Air, I think air went up again, 33% versus and then Earth is about the same. Let's go down to 60. All right, Earth went up. Sorry, air went up. Messes up. Air went up again to 35%. Earth about 15% still. Fire is actually getting kind of low too. It's not statistically significant. But all right, now let's go to 50. All right, the top 50 rappers. This is kind of where the three lists come into play, because the Billboard's top 50 and Forbes top 50 only include 50 rappers. So this is kind of where it all starts to kind of come together. So the 95% confidence level. Air's at 37. Earth dropped to 12%. It's roughly half of what it should be. If the Zodiac signs there's nothing to it, it's about half of where it should be. Let's just go ahead and boost this confidence up to 98%, see what happens. So this is, all right, so about the 98, so now at the top 50, error is statistically significant at the 98 to 99 percentile margin of error confidence level. We'll change that back now. Let's walk it down by 10 now. Still there. It's about drop down to 35% now. Okay, about the same. Okay, went down a little bit there. The top 30, there it did. I'll go to the top 20. Okay, top 20. Now air is officially above the 40%, 42%. Earth is, well, it's been about where it's been the whole time, but okay. Down to 15. Top 15. Air just went up to, this is 22 rappers. Air just went up to about 55%. Over half of the top 50 rappers are top 15 rappers are air signs. Oh, we got this level. Oh, not quite 99.9, but we're good at the 99% level. 99% confident that it is above what it should be. All right, walk it down to 10. All right, still hovering about the 55%. Now officially, Earth is about the same as its cusp date right here. Earth air, and most of these Earth air signs are probably, you know, going by the pattern, there's probably air. So air is probably higher than it should be. I think that's just Biggie. Biggie is the Earth air here, Taurus, Gemini. And the Earth is, who we got here? Nas, Virgo. All right, top 5. Top 5. Top 5, we are officially over 60%, 62%. 8 rappers had a best rank of top 5. And so, yep, there you have it. Okay. Now to just kind of let's go by zodiac sign, just to kind of instead of the elements, let's go by zodiac sign. Just walk it down again, do a little quicker here. See how this goes. So first we can see so air, Aquarius is about even, about where it should be. Gemini is statistically high in the 95% range. Libra's, it's a little bit above average, but not super above. And let's look at Earth again. Taurus, low. Virgo's about even. Capricorn is statistically significant, low here. All right, let's walk it down now and see what happens. At top 200. Capricorn, still low. Aquarius is picking up a little bit. Gemini picked up a bunch. It was already there, I guess. Libra's about where it was. Let's go to 150. The Taurus is getting lower. Virgo's about where it was. Signs. Virgo's dipping down a little bit more. Taurus about the same. Capricorn still way low. Aquarius is trending upward. Well, Gemini is trending downward. Libra's trending upward as well. Libra's trending upward, Gemini downward. Aquarius probably upward as well. Capricorn, again, way low. Taurus is almost statistically significant low. And Virgo's trending about the same where it was. All right, let's go to 80. Similar picture. 60. Libra and Gemini and Aquarius. Aquarius is trending way up. Capricorn again way low. Taurus low. Virgo. The top 50. Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra are all they're all fairly high. Yeah, Scorpio is high as well, but it's been high. Also notice which ones here are overperforming for their, I forgot to mention this, but the three middle bars, so Scorpio is overperforming, and most of this is honestly due to Drake. Drake's just got outrageous numbers on here. Hot 100 singles is outrageous, 361. Sales are high. Number one singles are also very high. I don't think there's still a lot of other Scorpios there doing very well, but Drake is he's pulling a lot of weight there for sure. So even over here, Aquarius is underperforming for a per rapper basis, but Gemini and Libra are way overperforming. 40. There you go. 30. Aquarius went down a little bit there. Gemini and Libra is still very high, the highest two right now actually. 20. See Gemini and Libra again dominating the field here, the top 20. Aquarius is still above average. Capricorn way low. Taurus is lower. Virgo is lower. And I'm gonna go 15. There you go, and then let's go 10. Gemini and Libra again way high. Aquarius up high too. Let's go 10 here. Again, Gemini, Libra. And okay, yeah, the baseline gets kind of wonky with when you have a small sample size. You got to have one of each sign for it to appear right on the report here. But yeah, Gemini and Libra is still the top two. Aquarius one, so they're roughly half of it basically. Actually over half, I think. Yeah, 5 out of 8. So okay, now just to kind of show you that it's not all, the ranking system is subjective, but we're gonna walk this up by sales as well, and hot singles later, just to kind of raise our bar by sales instead of performance metric instead of just the ranking. So there's our sales here. We'll go by 2 million sales. Again, air signs jumped up immediately, 36%. Earth is still a little low. 3 million. Air went up again. 4 million. Air went up slightly. 5. Air keeps going up slightly and slightly there. 6, 7. Okay, yep. Air's almost at 40%. What's our confidence level at right now? We're at about 60 rappers. So what's our confidence level? Is that 98, 99? So about 99. So it's, if you go by sales, it's still 99% an outlier by number of rappers, and then and they're still outperforming in sales as well. But the hot times number of singles not so much. But let's go to 10. We'll go up to air went even higher. 15 keeps going up, and now Earth is now trending downward. How many rappers we got here? There's 52 rappers. Okay. Sample size 20. Went down a little bit. Let's go 30. Okay, went down a little bit more. 50. Okay, so now we're down to 15 rappers. So we're about 40%. Still still outside the margin of error. And let's do 40 real quick just to go there. Okay. Yeah, so 40. So it's still very high. Depending on how you do the margin of error, it is or isn't within the confidence range. Alrighty. Let's walk this up by hot 100 singles now, just to show you that the trend doesn't really change too much. This one's not as much, but okay. 2, let's go 3, 4, just trending upward. 5, about the same. 6, upward a little bit. 7, and down. 8, down. 9, went down a little bit there. But again, they're still overperforming quite a bit for what they put out. And notice Earth is underperforming compared to its wrappers. I've sold at least that many, released that many Hot 100 singles. Let's do 10. Let's do 15. Okay, so it's coming down there a little bit, getting more of a normal, more normal here, but still. All right, there's 105 wrappers there. Let's do 25. 72. 72 mark. We're trending high, not quite within the outside the margin of error. Earth is about normal here, but they're underperforming quite a bit in sales for those wrappers. Let's do 30. That's about the same. 35. There we go. And so air is trending up. Now we're starting to get into the statistically significant level here again. Let's do 40. Spoke too soon, went down. All right, 45. Number 40 wrappers here at 40% for air, outside the margin of error. Oh, 40 the wrong way. Let's do 50. There it is. 60. 26 wrappers. 24. Let's do 80 Hot 100 singles. Okay, down the top 20 wrappers by numbers released, we're at 40% air signs. Still very high, not outside the margin of error, but you know, there you have it. Alrighty, so that's about all I got for today. So again, this is just a really good study because it's what you expect to be true would be is kind of what turns out to be true. You know, again, if you look at those elements again, you know, look at kind of like the Earth kit. Just kind of think like, so what in there? Practical, stable, security, patient, steadfast, you know, materialistic or object oriented. What in there helps with wrapping or could help with wrapping, and it's not immediately obvious, and that's kind of the point here. There's not. They're kind of the more tried and true kind of people. You know, very good. You need to get something done. They're one of the best people to call and to depend on. But you know, in wrapping, which is more of a creative measure, you know, which kind of based on multiplying words, like I said, you know, being talkative and the more creative spin on it. It's really geared towards air signs kit, natural kit here. So it's what you expect to be true is true when it comes to this, which I think is just a great way of putting it. And so yep. Again, I'll try to have some links in the below to kind of fact check me, please, on some of these statistics. Yep, that's what I got. So everybody, have a nice day. Thanks.